Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
Welcome back to another episode of the SEO.co podcast. Today, we're wrapping up the series on mobile SEO. Let's talk about mobile app optimization and indexing. All the insights we've shared thus far have been relegated to optimizing websites for mobile browsers. But there's another form of user interaction on mobile devices you should be preparing your business for: apps. Apps have surged in popularity, just as mobile devices have, and there's no sign that their growth has an endpoint. In fact, they're responsible for much more mobile use than web browsers. To address this, Google's been implementing a number of functions and updates for what's becoming known as App SEO, including the basic presence of apps in search engines, app deep linking to take users to specific screens within apps downloaded on their devices, and even app streaming, which allows users to access apps they haven't downloaded. It's not entirely certain whether apps may one day replace traditional websites, but they are becoming more important, and they're presenting more opportunities for marketers. Keep a close eye on their development as you fine-tune your strategic approach for mobile users. Google offers a specific, easy-to-integrate API that will ensure your app is seen and indexed by its search algorithm. However, Android and iOS apps are treated a little differently. Namely, for Android apps, if a user searches for a term specific to your app and has not yet downloaded it, he or she will see it appear in mobile search results. Those who already have the app installed will get autocomplete suggestions, along with deep links to content within the app. For iOS, things are a little less beneficial. Mobile search visibility only applies for users who have already downloaded the app. Either way, applying the app indexing API is relatively simple. You can think about it in 3 steps. Make sure HTTP deep links are supported in your app. There are different ways to do this for Android and iOS apps, but I'll dig a little deeper into that later. Directly implement Google's app indexing API, which they conveniently offered to developers. Use rel equals alternative link elements or a schema markup to map various pages to their app-based counterparts, so Google can gain a better understanding of your app. That being said, Android and iOS apps do require a bit of a different approach. To get your Android app's content properly indexed, add intent filters to your manifest so you can dictate how your app will respond to different types of user actions. Action, category, and data tags are the most important. This will allow for HTTP deep links, which is a requirement for app search visibility. Use Google Search Console to associate your app with your site. This will ensure that Google knows your brand is in control of both your mobile app and your primary domain, and will associate the two. Use the app indexing API provided by Google. They give detailed instructions on how to do this correctly. Run a test. Fetch as Google to make sure you've implemented these steps correctly. For iOS, the process is a little different. Use the Universal Links option to enable HTTP deep link support. If you need help with this step of the process, Google offers a handy guide for developers. Use Google's App SDK to register your app with Google. This will make sure Google recognizes and properly associates your app with an existing website. And run a test. Fetches Google to make sure you've implemented these steps correctly. You may have noticed that one of the biggest parts of implementing app indexing is associating an app with a particular website. So what happens if your app has no corresponding website? Unfortunately, due to Google's current structures and limitations, it's not possible to index your app. However, they are working on developing a new way to index and display app-only content. This has been a long and exhaustive guide, so if you're looking for some key takeaways, here they are right here. Mobile optimization is a necessity. If you want to rank, or if you want to keep your users happy, or both, mobile optimization is an absolute necessity. Mobilegeddon made this so last year, and that update alone, is growing in significance. You can't run away from it. Responsive design is Google's solution of choice. If you're currently using dynamic content or separate URLs, you can manage just fine, but responsive design is Google's optimization method of choice. If you're just now optimizing your site for mobile, this is the way to go. Testing can help you find and correct any issue. No matter what stage of optimization you're in, utilizing tools like Google's mobile-friendly test can help you sniff out and troubleshoot any problem with the mobile rendering of your site. You don't have to rely on your assumptions or instincts. And lastly, you'll want more than just the basics. Meeting all of Google's baseline requirements for mobile-friendly sites is a good start, and it will ensure that you're not penalized for not being mobile-friendly. But if you want to succeed from a user experience perspective, you'll have to do more to make your site functional and convenient on mobile devices. Mobile is a segment poised for even more expansive growth in the coming decade. If you want your brand and your website to not just survive, but outlast the competition, you need to prioritize the experiences of your mobile audience. That's all for the guide on mobile SEO. Thanks again for listening to the SEO.co podcast, and we'll see you in the next series.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.